It is my proud privilege to have with me today Mr. Jitendra Gupta. Jitendra is a very close friend of mine. We belong to the same organization called the PSAI, which is Professional Speakers Association of India. So Jitendra is a speaker, a trainer, and an author of two upcoming books: The Spiritual Secret of a Spiritual Billionaire and Express But Don't Spoil Relationships. These are his two books. Jitendra, welcome on the show. I'm very happy to have a little conversation with you on the subject of time investment. So as I see you very often, and we are in the same groups, so we meet every week, and we are also on the board and the core committee together. I see you so busy and you manage so many things. Do you have any challenges with time, or do you think you have an abundance of time?
Thank you, Brigadier, first of all, for having this conversation. And as far as the question that you have raised, actually, I have a very big vision. I want to transform 1 billion lives by year 2045. And at the same time, in a short-term goal, I want to transform 1 lakh people to bring joy, peace, and harmony into these lives. Now, this goal is so big, the vision is so big, that I find that there is no time to do so many things which needs to be done. I have videos to shoot, I have books to write, I have webinars to do, I have programs to do, I have a lot of research to do, and then apart from that, a family to manage, blogs to write. So many things are there, and I always find that I don't have time, and how I'm going to do. And many times I think I spread myself so thin that at the end of the day, I find that I have not really progressed. So, so I want to ask from you that how do we manage our time so that we are most productive and we use our time for the most important task rather than filtering away our time into all kind of things. So I would be really interested from you. You are an expert.
Jitendra, actually, I'm not really an expert. I'm also work in progress because I also face the same challenges. It's a matter of interest to you that it took me a few years to narrow down my options, to start working on some time investment strategies, which I follow. And to be very frank with you, even today I struggle with, I'm not 100% there. So maybe I've been able to get to about 60% of what I wanted to do. And I'm still continuing to do my efforts to do this. So what you said is so true. Now, we have more tools and technologies, gadgets and devices than we ever had before, isn't that? And we made our life so simple. You do so many, you have apps, you have technologies, you do online banking, so I don't have to go to the bank. You can get home delivery, so I don't go to the grocery store to stand in a queue and all that. And logically, because our time has been saved, we should be having a lot of free time. But that doesn't seem to be happening. In fact, we are shorter of time now than we were before. Is that right or no?
Yes, it's absolutely right. And many times I feel that it is because of these so many apps. I find that I only have to use those apps. So actually that takes more time.
Yeah, exactly. So what happens is, I discovered for myself that the same technology that saved us a lot of time, at the same time also distracted us and made us do many things that we need not have done. So it is, and it appears that the distraction by technology has overcome or been in excess of the time it has saved. And that is why we are all struggling to complete our to-do lists. We always still have lots of things. We go to sleep with things pending. We don't think we have been able to do all what we wanted. Or we also make a wish list and we have a long list of things and we say we'll manage it. And there's one word which is a myth. We say we'll manage it, and you can't manage time. Time is fixed. It goes on at the same speed. So how can you manage it? Managing was if you could slow it down, you could speeden it up, you could contract it, you can expand it. You can't do that. So you have to manage life and not manage time.
Right.
Okay.
Actually what happened, even today, I made a list of the things that I wanted to complete today, but I find my time has gone into some other things and those things I have not even touched. And it's already
Yes.
now a lot of time gone.
Yes. So now if you wanted answers to that, a couple of things, and I'll tell you some things that are absolutely doable, practical, and but you have to work on it. You see, the first thing, if you set on this course of productivity, or you want to sharpen your work, or you want to do more work in the less time, then one thing you have to learn is self-discipline, because without that, nothing is going to happen.
True.
And the simple definition of self-discipline, which I've learned, is doing what you ought to do, even when you don't feel like doing it, or when nobody is watching you. So if you can look at these two things, that can I do what I ought to do? And what you ought to do, you know, and nobody has to tell you what you ought to do. Right. So that is one. Second is that I have a system which I call time check. Okay. And it's there in my book, $1 Million Second. I do it in all my productivity and goal setting workshops. So what is time check? And this is the first thing I'll request you to work on. And maybe after about 2-3 weeks, if you can give me a feedback on whether it worked for you or not. Now, time check is that when you have lots of things to do, first thing is, before we come to time check, is a focus funnel. Have you heard of the focus funnel?
No, I haven't heard. I have heard focus, but I have not heard. I have heard focus and I have heard funnel, but I have not focused. Focus funnel, I don't know.
Yeah, this focus funnel actually is a thing which has been, which I've learned from Rory Vaden. And Rory Vaden is a TEDx speaker who's got very high number of views on this TEDx talk called How to Multiply Your Time. And he also wrote a book called Procrastinate on Purpose. And his focus funnel, which is there, and I'll see if we were able to interject that little, what do you call, or let me see. No, I can't do it in this short time. So there's a diagram on it, but let's do it without the diagram. All the tasks that you have, when you list them down, you examine all those tasks and see with the first tool or for the first step, how many can you eliminate? Now you've got your goals clear, isn't that?
Yes.
So once you made your goals, see that whatever you have in your to-do list, let's say you make a weekly to-do list, for example, and you keep saying how many of those tasks you really need to do. And for everything, ask yourself a question, is this contributing to any one of my goals? Professional goal, personal goal, health goal, financial goal, whatever.
Okay.
If it is not contributing to any one of those goals, please delete that. Eliminate it. It's not required to be done because you're going to waste time on that, right? Okay. Or you see that there was something which is very important. You want to do it. You got a very strong reason to do it, but it is not in your goals. Then please create a goal for it. But there has to, you can't be doing something that is not contributing to a goal. That is step one. Okay. The step two is, if you can't do that, the second thing is now put the list. So there's a funnel, it's a filter. So first level of filtration is eliminate. The second one is automate. Now see, can you automate that? So can you use an app? Can you use some technology to be able to automate that? And the third thing, so, so find something like I have to make my payment. So that takes away my time. So I have an ECS or something like that. So you do use your apps, use your technology to automate a process. So see if there's something can be automated. Yes. Now what is left, put them through the third step of the funnel, and that is delegate. Give it to somebody else. Okay. Now, for example, my social media is handled by a company which is outsourced. So I find that if I pay him X amount of money per month, that money is less than my hourly worth.
Okay, so this is a good point, and I would really want to know from you.
Okay, now first let me go through the funnel first, because let us go in that sequence. So
Sure,
I
sure.
said eliminate, then I said automate, then I said delegate. And delegate is two ways. One is, can you delegate to some member of your team? Okay, can this be done by, and there's a beautiful story in my book, $1,000,000 Second, which is about Mr. Saxena asking his PA or his secretary not to go home to bring a bag because he says that my PN can do. So if I can get that job done in 800 rupees, why would I get it done with a person I pay 5,000 rupees to or something like that? Right? So the third is that I outsource things either to my team, so that is delegate, and outsource if you do it to another agency like I do with my social media. Now what is left is something I have to do. And in that, now see two categories. What do I need to do immediately? If you're taking your weekly goals, how quickly do I need to do them? Or can it wait?
Okay.
Can I wait for another week? So if it is, it can wait, then it is called procrastinate on purpose. So what Rory Wheaton says is, when you say procrastinate, it's not a good word. People say, oh, no, no, don't procrastinate. And here you're saying procrastinate on purpose.
Right.
So when you procrastinate means you are not being able to do something because you are not in a mood to do it. You don't feel like doing it. That is procrastination, and that is bad. But if you deliberately, with logic, put it off for another time because it is not fitting into your priorities, then it is procrastinated on purpose, which is very good. So now you put it on procrastinate on purpose. Next week, you'll put it back into the funnel again and see, can it be eliminated? Because by then, ho sakta hai, uska relevance khatam ho gaya. So eliminate it. Or you may now find some app, something. So again, see, can it be automated? Or you may have found somebody in your team or somebody who can be outsourced to. For example, now you're writing your books. So I outsourced my editing to somebody, for example. So yeah, I saved my time. I can write more books now because I just write and give it to somebody else to edit and polish. Okay. So learn how to give away things to outsourcing and to delegation. And then now what is left, you prioritize. So this is first thing is get to priority and see that you are not handling the unnecessary things at the cost of necessary things. And this is where that jar example, which we all know the story of a professor putting stones and you heard of the story. And there's a
big stone and the small
beautiful, there is a, without any, it's an animated video on YouTube called Jar of Life. And you can Google it and see, it's a video.
I've seen that. Yeah,
but even if you have seen it, I recommend see this one because it brings out lessons in a beautiful way. So I've been hearing this story for the last 10 years, but when I found this video, it still brought me more sharpness into my thinking, right?
Okay.
So first thing what we have covered is prioritize, and you got now your priorities right. Now is a matter that you have written, let's say, 20 things you want to do in a week. Now, against every item, write down the number of hours you think it will take you to do. Okay. And then add up. And like today, I'm talking about in the lockdown period, I say because you're working from home, if you say deduct 8 hours of your sleeping time, okay, then you have about 16 hours a day and 112 hours a week, even if you consider all 7 days working. Okay, that's the maximum you can do. So now see that the total is how much. If it is more than 112, then you need to cut out something. Or you have to change your priorities. You may spend lesser time with family. You may spend lesser time on sleep. Then you see, is my family goal being hindered? Is my health goal, if I'm going to sleep less, is my health goal being hindered? So this is the way you carry out a time check. And time check is actually what? It's an audit. It's a way that you see if you validate कि ये possible है कि नहीं. The problem is most people stop setting goals and stop making these lists because they feel करते हैं होता तो है नहीं. होता इसलिए नहीं है that you have tried to make a wish list without validating. So you say 100 things you want to do. And obviously you'll not be able to do, and then you get frustrated and say, no, this doesn't work. And then you again randomly pick up whatever comes to your mind, which is the worst way of investing your time. So these are the two things I told you. One is a focus funnel and one is a time check. If you try out these two things and let me know a feedback of how it worked with you, it'll be very good. And because we are streaming this on Facebook, I'm going to be able to put in the chat box the reference of 2-3 things where you'll be able to see the focus funnel. You'll be able to see the time check part of it so that you can put them into implementation. So tell me, was this part useful?
Yeah, this is very, very useful. And just let me just reconfirm. The first, the focus funnel, in which the first step is to eliminate whatever we can eliminate.
Absolutely.
Second step is to automate whatever we can automate.
Yeah.
Third step is then delegate whatever we can delegate, we delegate. And then procrastination on purpose. Then we see what we can postpone for the.
Yeah, so no, the last step was that you got two things. Either you do them now or you do them later. So do them later goes into the procrastinate on purpose funnel.
Yeah, so whatever we can do now, we do it now, and whatever we can't, that we procrastinate.
No, other way around. Whatever we can't do now, you say what is not required to be done now, can I postpone it? So first you remove from
Can I postpone it? Okay.
Yeah. That is this thing required to be done this week or can it wait? If it can wait, then you push it there so that you don't do tomorrow's things today, and what had to be done today, you have missed it out, because then you can't do today tomorrow.
Right. So that is great. So this is time check.
Yeah, that is time check.
This is focus funnel.
Focus funnel.
Then second
and after focus funnel is your time check, which is your validation. When you count the number of hours you have and match it with the number of hours you need to do a particular job.
I think this is so useful. I think I have never tried this one. And many times I have made the list and I have not been able to achieve. And then I started thinking, maybe I am bad in managing time. Maybe something is wrong with me. You know, just because we don't know the strategy, we start judging ourselves that I am not good enough.
Yeah, it happens. So my very strong recommendation is read the book $1 Million Second, because it's
I will definitely read it.
Yeah, it's a workbook, because after every chapter you have to write your reflection actions. So there's no way that you will not be able to improve your productivity if you read that book.
Definitely. I think what you have added, I think there will be a lot of questions, and I definitely will meet you for more questions later on. I am not going to leave you because you have invested so many years of your life into studying this small aspect of time management, time strategy. And what you have shared this is something I've never heard before. Okay.
Thank you very much.
I know what you are sharing is not a common understanding. What you are sharing is something very, very deep and something very profound, which most people, even if they just take it, I think they will be saving years from their life. So thank you for sharing this insight. I'm definitely going to apply this, and I'm going to let you know about the feedback. And the work that you are doing is amazing, because there are so many people who, because they are not able to manage the time, they either leave out on their family time, or they leave out on their hobby time, personal time, and they live a very frustrated and unhappy life, or a very, very low productive and low goal achievement life. They start feeling that they are not good enough. So what you are doing is so important, and I wish you all the best in your endeavor. And whatever I can do and however I can contribute and be a part of this, I will be privileged.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I would like to say that I have made a mission. So this book, $1 Million Second, is not a book for me. It's my mission of life. I have decided, and I'm on a mission, committed to make the society a time-conscious society. I add years to people's age by making them do more in the time that they have. So that means you can live more years. That is the purpose. And thank you very much for listening in. Because you guys have invested your time into listening to this and watching this video, I will give to you in the chat box below a free gift. I don't know whether it's a
Wow.
free gift because gifts have to be free anyway. So I'll give you a gift and it's called 50 tips. And
Wow.
tip is a time investment protocol. So I'll give you 50 time investment protocols. It's a PDF. At least 15 of those are very, very valuable in the Corona time also. And of course, these were written before the Corona time, but I was filtering them and find that at least 15 of them you can use right now to make the best out of this time. Because remember, it's a race against time right now. The flattening of the curve is a race against time. What Jitendra is trying to do is, when will your lockdown be over? Can I finish my book? Can I finish this? So you've got lots of things to do and you say that the moment this lockdown is over, I'll be back into the rut of life and I'll not be able to do things that I can do right now. So ladies and gentlemen, right now, do what you can, prioritize, use your focus funnel, use your time check and get your life shifting to the next gear. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jitendra, for being here. And I hope I made some contribution to your life.
Definitely, definitely. And I'm very thankful for sharing your precious knowledge and insights. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Brigadier.
Thank you very much. Thank you.